What's up, guys? This is George. Today's going to be our first HTML tutorial. It's going to be first of a extremely, I would say, an extremely long series of videos about how to do some basic HTML. Again, if you have any questions, just make sure to leave it in a message or in the comments. I'd prefer a message if it's a question, and unless you want to post it also on comments, that way if somebody from the community wants to come by and answer it, they can. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Notice I'm using a Mac. It doesn't really matter because it's the same HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, which is what it means, stands for, is the way to write websites, and it doesn't matter whether you're using a PC or a Mac. I use Text Wrangler as my preferred program. If you're using a PC, I would recommend to use what's that program called? Notepad++. Yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Alright, so here we have our text document, which I opened up with Text Wrangler or Notepad++. First, we're going to start off with, what is this? This is not less than, at least not in HTML. This is called a tag. Okay, that is a tag. This is letting the program know that, hey, we're going to be using HTML. And you know what? When you use HTML, you also have to say, I'm going to end HTML. For every tag, you have to start the tag and you have to end the tag. There are a few exceptions, but I'll come back to that later. Now, next would be body. I'm sorry. The next tag that you're going to need is a header tag, or a head tag. And of course, you start it and you end it again. You guessed it. So we got a head, and guess what? We also got a body, kind of like our human anatomy. We got a head and we also got a body. So we started our HTML and we ended it. Started our head and we ended it. Body and we ended it. You see, in the head, we're going to have a title. And we're going to also end the title. You guessed it. One thing about me is I'm a little bit clumsy with my typing, so I hope you all don't mind. Now notice how I structured this. I like having my title right here. Notice how I structured this. It's sort of kind of a sandwich sort of way, where you have our HTML and you close the HTML at the end. Then you have the head and you close the head at the end. Then you have the title in the middle, and then you close the title. It's kind of like entering and coming out of a room or two rooms. You see? You go into, I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and move it this side. We got one room, HTML. I'm sorry, we got the head room. Let's start off this way. We got a head room, and we're gonna move into the title room. But now let's say we wanna go back to the, head room. We gotta exit the title room, and then we gotta go back to the head room. So it's pretty much like once you open a door, you gotta make sure to close it before you leave it. That's pretty much it. So HTML, that's why you start it, and right before you leave, you gotta say, hey, I'm done with HTML. That's just the way, those are the standards that you should meet. Alright, so let's start off with, what are these tags for? So we got a header tag, and I like separating, sorry about that. I like separating my stuff, that way I don't get confused, like that. Like that. There you go. So I got my head and I got my title and I got my body. So inside the head you have a couple of things. You have your title. What do you want your website to be called? Let's just say I want to call it whatever, it doesn't really matter right now. Example 1 HTML. Exclamation point. So we got that. And we got our body. What do you want to say in the body? Hello world, since that is what every first programming language always shows you how to do. to have a hello world. Alright, so we got a website now that's an HTML, and in the head we got the title HTML1, and in our body we have hello world. So now we want to display that, but first we gotta save this, and I recommend you always use save as, just as a general rule. And I'm gonna call this one index.html. Since this is gonna be our home page, we always call our home page index, and always use .html. There you go, we got it saved, and notice how when I did that, these tags turn blue, and it kind of helps us with knowing what is code and what is actually text. So I want to go ahead and open up, and that's how it looks like. You see up here in the title, I see example 1 HTML exclamation point. Then we have hello world, because that's exactly what we told it to do. Let's say you want to change this to whatever, you see, and here is I love bananas, and don't make fun of me for saying that. Make sure to save. Okay, notice here I went to file save, but I used a hotkey, Command S over here, and I went ahead and refresh, and it says I love bananas. That's exactly what you told it to do. Alright, so this is our first tutorial, and of course things are going to get a bit more difficult, but you know, just stick with me and leave me any messages or any questions in messages or in the comments below. And if you like the video, like it. If you don't, well, dislike it too. Yeah, leave me some feedback, guys. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate it. Have a good one.